Hey guys, this is my second crack at a video for the evening back home in the east, afternoon here out in California. Video for Thursday 10/18. So something I've been meaning to do and have forgotten, and I apologize. Shame on me. But I do think that we all need to bow our heads a little bit, say some prayers for someone. So on my journey, I was fortunate enough to meet several folks that are directly involved with their high school football teams, and as a result, the Print FM journey has basically adopted 3 high school football teams throughout the nation. One of those teams is the Crestview Knights out of Convoy, Ohio. Not this past Friday, the Friday before, one of their players was seriously injured in the game. I don't know all the details and how exactly, and I'm not sure if he was a JV playing varsity, if he was on the JV team, but essentially this young man, I believe, had to be airlifted out down to Columbus. I believe he had some bleeding and swelling in the brain, and it's very serious. Young man playing a sport that he loves, giving his heart and soul to it, and something like that's just tragic. So I don't have any further updates. I do have the young man's name, but I don't feel the need to share it with everybody. Just, if you can, bow your heads, appreciate the ones around you, but let's say a prayer for this young man to get better and get healthy, 100% healthy, and let's pray that happens. I don't have any more details. I know this was over a week ago, and I only found out about it. I guess I found out about just about a week ago, and I've forgotten totally. I dropped the ball there. I apologize, but folks, if we can come together and pour our hearts and soul into good positive thoughts and vibes for this young man. Let's do that, okay? So I believe the team kind of dedicated last week's game to his spirit and his honor, and they rallied around him well and won the game. But I think they would trade the victory for his health in a heartbeat, and hopefully we can do the same. So God bless this young man, and hope that he gets better. The next thing I want to talk about was some things I alluded to last night. So if you heard me talk last night, I had a very difficult time sleeping because it's hard to sleep when your mind isn't at rest, and my mind is always going, and last night in particular. I'm 15 weeks in, probably 16 starting Monday into this journey, and I really honestly think I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I did a pretty good job of trying to plan as best I could, but you can't plan everything. As an example, one of the things that I missed terribly on was just my vision of what the desert would be like. I was not prepared for the complete desolation, isolation, barrenness of it, and I certainly wasn't prepared for the fact that, between 40 and 60 feet off the highway, it's all wired off either for reservations or just for county or federal property. So your ability to be able to go off and rest is not as easily done as one would think. So I missed the boat entirely there. Well, I missed the boat on something. I didn't really miss the boat, but maybe I did. So, and let me rephrase that. I'm not going to use the term I missed the boat. I just figured I'd deal with it when I got there. Here I am, I'm dealing with it. So last night I was in Victorville, California, and Victorville is only 100 miles from Los Angeles, so I have a full week to go 100 miles, so the distance is not the problem. What was happening was the next town out of Victorville was a town called Cajon Junction, Cajon, and it's up in the mountains a little bit. The challenge with Cajon Junction is that there's not a lot of people, there's not a lot of places to stay, and there's not a lot of commerce. So it's also kind of isolated. Plus it's up in the mountains, so it's 40 degrees low temperature at nighttime. There is one place to stay in town, but it's about $90 a night. as you get over the mountain, the next stop on my journey would be San Bernardino, California. Um, the next challenge with San Bernardino, or not from here on out, is as follows. So here's the situation. There are three options I have on any given night. There's when it's fortunate that I meet some folks or some family that kind of basically adopt me for a night and take me in and meet me and hear my story and want to become part of the book and let me, meet their family. That's always the most ideal for me because the story is about the people, and I really do enjoy meeting the people. But that doesn't always happen, and it's slowed down some, and partially it's probably slowed down for a few reasons. One of which I think as a group, some things have come up where we haven't been able to get out as far ahead as we'd like to. That's A. B, just have less people and less population. It's been more sparse, the areas, so that's been part of it. So those are a couple reasons. But there's really three options. One is I hook up with somebody. Two is I get to a motel, and I've spent many nights in motels. It would not be my first choice, as I said. Sometimes I've scrambled up enough money to do it myself. Sometimes people have put me up at motels. And then the third option is to sleep outside. So as you get into San Bernardino, there's a whole lot of population. From here to Los Angeles, what happens when you have a lot of population is the cost of everything goes up. So my point is, even though it's only 100 miles to go with a week to go, I have to play worst case scenario. And worst case scenario is if folks don't extend themselves to me and say, hey, you can crash at my place tonight, whether it's in advance or I get lucky like I have so many times and just meet somebody at a restaurant or a bar and they say, yeah, you're welcome to come back, I love your story. Sometimes people hear about me on Facebook and reach out to me and say, hey, we'd love to have you. I've had that happen. Sometimes, the thread of Doris Whitler or Anna Lee gets out there, or people, reach out thanks to their connections. I'm trying to give some props out to some folks. And that happens. But I can't count on that. So not counting on that leaves me two things to have to kind of prepare for. One is 7 days of motels, the cheapest, and when I say cheapest I mean financially, although usually the lower price takes a different term of cheap. As you get first of all, the one place to stay in Cajon Junction was $90, and then as you get into California, you're talking about $75 a night for the cheapest, and as I get closer to LA, I've been going up to $150, $180 a night. So 7 days, even at 7 days at $70, $80 a night is money I don't have. So that's not necessarily an option. So that was a concern. Well, then the next step is, well, you know what? Certainly nice weather. You can sleep outside. And as I've been talking many times in my journey, the thing that's been making me aware that I really wasn't fully as prepared to be aware of when I started the journey is the homelessness. In fact, just over the wall here, about 120 feet away, I've heard about it and I've seen them. There's this strip of I don't want to say commune or town. There's just a plethora, for the word, of these little shelters, these little homeless shelters that these folks have set up. When you're out in the desert in these small towns, it's easy to kind of go get lost on a barren road or little patch of somewhere that you can kind of sleep outside. Well, out here, from here on out, because it's so populated, there aren't a lot of places that just go drift off and be safe, so that's the challenge. So now it's either hook up with someone, which I can't count on, I still do hope happens, get a motel, which 7 straight nights at these rates I couldn't swing, and I don't feel comfortable asking people. $35, $40 one night is one thing, $75, $90, $100 is another thing. And then thirdly is sleeping outside, but you can't really do that here. I mean, you can, a lot of people do, but it's a different kind of sleeping out. It's not like, hey, I'm going to the campground and I'm going to camp out here and sleep on ground in this kind of gated area and know I'm pretty safe. This is life. This is LA. This is what it is. So that was what was causing me to not sleep last night, as my mind was racing. What options did I have? What options could I come up with? What could I determine? And so forth. And I'm telling you this not because I'm trying to whine, not because I'm trying to get you guys to be, oh my God, I feel so bad for him. I'm not asking for pity. But a lot of people have kind of said, hey Jim, you know what? One of the things I love about you sharing your videos is I kind of get inside your head. I kind of take that journey with you. Sometimes you say, hey, I got a decision to make, and I'm right there making that decision with you. So along with trying to open your eyes to messages and meanings, and whether it be homelessness or honor flight or CASA or positive stories, with the Amanda Todd legacy, I try to share my situation with you, as being as honest and blunt as I can. So on that note, these were the things that were running through my mind. Well, talking with a few people, here's what we've done today. So if you're tracking me on my tracker and you go, hey Jim, I don't get it, you were in Victorville and now you're in San Bernardino when that's a 2-day walk and you're there in 1 day, how did that happen? Well, what happened between you and I is that I got a ride into San Bernardino, so I didn't have to spend the night out in the mountains in the cold, and I'm able to come here into town. Now that I'm here in town, we've got other obstacles to cross, but I think we've got some backup plans, and I think we're going to cross them. So I'm not worried about that. I love you all for that. I just wanted to share with you, and I don't like to be anything but transparent. If you want to judge me, but you're not going to judge me and say, hey, you kind of lied to us. You said one thing, you did another. So from a safety standpoint, and I guess an economical standpoint to some degree, I got a ride. I was offered a ride from the outskirts of Victorville through a town called Hesperia, I don't know how you say it, and over the mountain and here into San Bernardino. It's beautiful weather. It's warm. I haven't had warmth in a long time. I was able to do some really positive things with a group of homeless folks this morning that were kind enough to talk with me. I was able to downsize some of what I'm carrying, which will help me in the rest of my journey. So as I said, I don't want you to think that hey, let's take pity on them. This is part of the journey. This is part of the story, and I have some great stories from the last 2 days. But I do want to be real with you. I want to keep it real, and I want to explain. So I don't want someone that's following me on my tracker to go, hey, he walked 2 days in 6 hours. That's not quite possible. It doesn't add up, Jim. So who's playing who here? So I'm trying to be as honest with you as I can. The rationale for why we did it and why I chose to do it was safety and economics. I was able to get over here, and now, to be honest with you, I'm only about 60-70 miles from the Santa Monica Pier, and I've got a full, now 6 days, I guess, to get down there. The beautiful thing about it is, as I walk, I think there's going to be so many people, the journey is going to take on kind of a different tone, or the live streams or the videos, where I'm going to be able to talk to people and share their story and let them talk. I'm not going to be able to do the talking, or I will be able to, but I will let them do the talking. I just think this last week is going to be magnificent in terms of the stories out there. As far as that goes as well, a lot of people have asked me, guys, this is it. We're 1 week away. So if we're going to reach out to media, papers, if you want anybody to carry the point of thumb message and you want to help spread the word, we're going to keep this going when I'm done. So I'm not saying that. But now's the time. I can do it, but the more people that reach out, somebody has a contact somewhere, somebody knows somebody somewhere, the more awareness we give the point of thumb message is really what our goal is. Okay, I'll be able to go home and share with my kids some amazing stories and be restored in humanity. I've made friends that will last me the rest of my life and probably my children's lives. But this last week, man, let's do it. Let's get it done. I've crossed into overcome some unknowns or concerns I had, and we're just going to bang it out. So I love you all. Thanks for following. I wanted to be real with you. I'm going to still walk the rest of the way, so we're there. I just had to get over that mountain into San Bernardino. Love you guys. Thanks so much. Have a great day.